All right, we're going to begin here with our cable core rotation movement. You want to set the cable about hip height, maybe a little bit higher, and you're going to step out to where there's tension at the start. Okay, you're all the way turned to the right there, but you want to make sure there's no slack in that cable. Arms out straight, not locking the elbows, and you're twisting until your hands are right out in front of you, bringing it in and pressing it back out. You're twisting from the core. As you can see, I'm keeping my feet firmly planted and twisting from my core. All right, we're going to do 10 on the right and 10 on the left. Our second ab move is our standing cable crunch, okay? So we're going to begin pulling the rope down on either side of the head, elbows tucked in tight, and we're bringing those elbows down and even past the knees if possible. Okay, you're exhaling every time you crunch down. Exhale, pulling that weight down, coming up slowly. As you can see, when I come up, I'm not coming all the way up. I'm stopping at about a 90-degree flat back there and crunching back down. 20 reps of this for 3 sets. All right, next we're going into pull-ups, and I'm going to show you a couple of different variations. This first one is our underhand grip. It's actually a chin-up. And I'm going to go ahead and break down a couple of different pull-up variations because you'll see it written in your work for either chin-ups or pull-ups. This is our chin-up. It's an underhanded grip or even a parallel grip pull-up hand hold. And we're going full range of motion. Regardless of which form you're using, you want to use full range of motion. So if you can't do one full range of motion pull-up yet, and here is an example of the holds into a negative. So you're jumping up, and then you're going to slowly come down, just like a second hold, and slowly come down. Drop your feet down, jump up, and slowly come down. Okay, this is an option if you've not mastered the pull-up yet. If you can't do one full range of motion pull-up, you're going to start with a second hold into the negatives, okay? Another option is you can do the pull-ups with the band. So this would be the next, excuse me, the next step after the negatives. Once you get a little bit stronger with that, you can throw a band on there and try to rep out your pull-ups full range of motion. Excuse me, full range of motion as well. I'm tapping my foot here on the bench, but I'll show you here in a second. I actually want you to do this without touching your feet to the ground. Okay, that's going to make this the progression. Without touching the ground, just using that slight assist to do full range of motion pull-ups. Okay? All right, next we're going into our hamstring roll-ins with the Swiss ball. All right, so you're starting with both legs out, heels on the ball, hips up high, hands down flat, and you're rolling that ball in. And you'll see tempo, okay? So we're rolling it in on 1, and we're rolling out on 1, 2, 3. Roll it in, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. So you don't want to go out super fast with that roll. You want it slow and controlled, about a 3-second count. Okay? Next, we're going into our traditional deadlift. Okay, setup is super important here. I want you to step into the bar, feet a little bit wider than hips width apart. Okay, and then you're going to drop down over under grip, thumbs out to measure that grip. So your thumb should come to the edge of the grip, and then wrap the thumbs around, pressing the knees out against the arms. Get the arms nice and straight, shoulders back, driving through the heels. We're just going to stand straight up. Okay, I don't want you pulling with your arms. This is a stand-up move. Okay, so dropping that butt. You're not squatting though. You're hinging, dropping the chest forward as you slightly bend the knees. Okay, and you see when I come up and I pull, I'm not jutting my hips forward. You don't want to thrust those hips forward. You're locking in through the glutes by pressing on the outsides of the feet. Okay. Next is our standing lat pull down. Okay, so standing with your feet about hips width apart, slight bend in the knees, chest forward, shoulders back. You're going to lean forward slightly and pull that bar down in front of you all the way to the thighs. Okay, now this was my last set and I got up pretty heavy, so you see me struggling here. I'm really struggling to pull this weight. It's quite a bit of weight on that lat pull down, which I want you to struggle, but you really want to try to keep your form. Okay, it's perfectly fine to keep a slight bend in those elbows, but you want to try to keep the shoulders back and get that bar all the way down to your thighs. Okay, next movement is our vertical pulls. More than likely you'll be doing this on a Smith machine, so just keep in mind that the higher you have the bar, the easier it is. The lower the bar, the harder. So adjust it so that you can do this for 8 reps. You want your legs out straight. When you're at the bottom, the arms are fully extended, your hips are up, and you're pulling your chest all the way to the bar for each rep. Next, we are going into barbell thrusters. If you have a thruster machine, you can definitely use that. If not, set the bar up and make sure whatever you're pressing your back up on, the edge of it falls just below the shoulder blades. Get a good cushion for your lap. With the legs out straight, bring one foot in to be level with the knee, and then bring the other. That should give you a perfect place for your feet to be. And then you are thrusting that bar up, driving through the heels, trying your best to get your hips all the way up to be level with the knees, keeping your chin tucked. Don't let your head fall back. Core nice and tight, and make sure that those knees do not buckle in. Press those knees out every time you thrust that bar up into the air. Next, we go into our kettlebell swings. Guys, this is a hinge movement, okay? It's not a squat. I want you to hold that kettlebell with a good grip, but let the grip be lax so that the bell can swing in your hand. When you go forward, your chest is falling forward, your hips are going back, you're hinging at the hips, slightly bending the knee, letting that bell swing under very close. And when you bring it up, come up to about shoulder height and squeeze the glutes. All right, again, you're letting that bell swing. The momentum of the swing is what's giving your body the work. Finally, guys, we're going into our hamstring curls. This is a very self-explanatory movement, guys, on this machine. Just make sure you adjust the leg piece in the back to be just above the Achilles. Make sure that when you curl that weight in, your butt's not popping up off of the bench too much. Squeezing the hand grips in front of you definitely helps to keep your body down. Keep those toes flexed and pointed down.